graduating.
And who's that?
Greg Bannis.
Twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallant.
Rather than wanting to learn after going to school for so long, I ended up feeling less like a desire to learn and more like an obligation. Because you have to go to school 5 days a week for 9 months a year and get information crammed into your head that really seems of little to no consequence after the fact because you never end up using it again. And the teachers, it never really felt like they were there to do anything other than supervise and get a paycheck. And let me tell you, that was very discouraging. Now, as this is what I experienced from preschool to 8th grade, you can assume that I wasn't expecting anything different from high school. I was expecting to go to school, hopefully barely slide by, and not get shoved into a garbage can like my teachers told me I would be. And that's exactly what I was going to do. But then one day, my mother told me about an alternative school with smaller learning environments and different types of teachers. And I was like, okay, Mom, sure. And I brushed her off. But still for weeks, she would persist that this was a good idea for me. So after the many times of her trying to wear me down, the idea began to grow on me a bit. In fact, she drove me by the school building one day, because I had been wondering where it was at. And she said, "So, Zach, what do you think?" And I think my exact words were something to the effect of, "I feel like they're running a cult out of that place." Thankfully, we aren't, well, you know, we do hold Mr. Martinez and his sweater vest in pretty high regard. I don't know, maybe there's something to that. Anyways, I digress. After a while, my mother made me take a tour of the facility, and I liked what I saw. So now I had a decision to make. Was I going to Bazama or Eagle Ridge? So I did what any sensible person would do when I asked my peers and teachers what they thought. And they all told me exactly the same thing. It's horrible. You shouldn't go there. No way they'd ever let you in. They pick and choose their students, so they can only have the elite. So I made my decision. I wasn't going to go. But still, my mom was persistent. She seemed to know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that this was the place I needed to be. So much so, in fact, she signed me up for a summer class without my consent. And honestly, that is one of the most important things she has ever done for me. Because at this class at Eagle Ridge, I got a taste of what the school was like. And after that, I decided it was the place for me. And honestly, I am so glad that I chose to go there, because within the first month of going to Eagle Ridge, I was invested in school again. I cared about my education. I had friends that seemed so much better than the friends I had before, because they had the same interest and drive that I did. And best of all, there were finally teachers that actually cared about me as a student and as a person. I was going to ask you guys to applaud anyways, but okay, thanks. So, the reason I told you that story is because I felt like you needed to have a little history on me when I give this little address that I'm about to give. And it is to the current and future students of Eagle Ridge, and it is just one message. Don't screw it up. But like seriously, this idea, this concept at a school that actually wants to help its students with teachers that are there to do more than just get a paycheck is unheard of. I know things have been going a little downhill as of late, but the only way to change that is for all of you to step up and help make the school as good as it can be. You can help make it as good as it was. No, you can help make it better than it was. Because I can guarantee you out there right now, even just in the Klamath Basin, there are students just like I was that want to actually learn again, that want to be invested in school and want to make a difference, like I did. But without a school like this, the odds of that happening are really slim. Because a school can take somebody like me, someone who was quiet and had little to no self-esteem, and can turn into a person who is still quiet but able and wanting to speak in front of hundreds of people. Make them care about their education, not just in but after high school, and help them grow creatively into somebody who actually wants to do things. Excuse me. And actually wants to do things and thinks that they can do things. Then I can assure you that it can do the same for so many other people. But in order for it to do that, it has to be back to at least the way it was before. Just something to think about. This might be the end of my speech, and this might be the end of the school year for so many of us dedicated students. But for so many of us, it is the beginning. The beginning of a better education, a better school, even a better life. But that's what Eagle Ridge can do for you, and that's what it did for me. I don't like goodbyes, so I'll just leave you with this, which is a statement I feel is much more appropriate for the occasion. Thank you. And as a great man once said, if nothing ever ended, how would anything ever get started? Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Zach Wilson. Have a nice day.
Great pleasure to follow a student this past.
The graduate. A good book is like an old friend. Ruth Ann Duella Adams. Smile. It will either warm their hearts or tick them off. Either way, you win. Sage Rebecca Albert. Don't tell me how to ruin my life, Dallas Brooke Henderson. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Gregory Adam Battis. I suffered, I learned, I changed. Samantha Brooke Benton. You can catch flies with honey, but you can catch more honeys being fly. Keanu Philip Burkett. I know that together we can change the world. Nadia Marie Camacho. There is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. Rebecca Esther Carter. If you have to sign a release form to do it, it's probably worth doing. Timothy Grant Cederling. The best is where I decide to set the bar every day. Robert Theodore Cherry III. Forever trust in who we are and nothing else matters. Megan Elizabeth Cook. Objects in the mirror are losing. John Thomas Cooper IV. Farm on to live strong. Tanner Allen Chris. Without you, I'm nothing. Thomas Solomon Crutchfield. Isn't it funny how day by day nothing changes, but when you look back, everything is different? Marissa Ann Doherty. You will create your tomorrows by what you dream today. This is your life. Seize the moment. Delight in your youth. Learn from yesterday and live for today. Shayla Day Guthrie. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. Alicia Joy Hartley. Work for a cause, not applause. Brooke Brienne Head. My life amounts to no more than one drop in a limitless ocean, yet What is in the ocean but a multitude of drops? Hope Ann Hess. I'm just here so I can graduate. Josiah James Cade. Insanity is life's greatest gift. Melissa Ann Francis Lambert. Stop wishing, start doing. Kyle Sergey Lowry. We got our education, John Cameron Lehman. Education is the greatest bulwark of democracy. Joseph Adam Lehman. Defeat is a state of mind. No one is ever defeated until defeat has been accepted as reality. Eric Marcos Miltimore. Just be yourself. Life is too short to be someone else. Bo Hunter Palazzolo.
No, that's not him.
Time is what we want most, but what we use worst. Jonathan Riley Rafferty. She, the raven, is the warrior's bird of battle. I, the raven, can make it through anything. Jasmine Olivia Smith. Life is amazing and you can fix anything. And I would know. Shannon Noel Troush. Think smarter, not harder. Earl Allen Van Order.
There's a guy behind you, can't see. You can't see if you stand up there. Okay.
When life gets bumpy, lean back and twist the throttle. Gregory Raymond Jordan Van Riper. Breathe in. Breathe out. Oh, that's in. Barbara Carey, Emmeline Waltman. Bear with me on this one. Ich bin ein Schwimmstowal mit Einem Speck. I am a porpoise with a purpose. Joseph Taylor Westwood. The two most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. Casey Nicole White.
That's Casey. That's Sage and
You were all fantastic, simply fantastic. And you know what? So was I. Zachariah Gregory Clark Frobisher Wilson. We're beyond sympathy at this point. We're beyond humanity. Holly Mae Zumbrin.
she's sitting there.
Why?
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating class of 2015.
So, Ruthie, I'm going to miss all of your hugs and I love yous every morning. Sage, even though I say I'm not going to miss you, you know I will. Dallas, I will no longer have anyone to bring it when you want to fight about it. And Greg, you were the only one in class ever to laugh at my math jokes. Sam, hearing you say that you're passing all your classes and feeling so proud of you. And Keanu, hearing a loud sound in the hall and just knowing it's you. And Nadia, missing your gentle spirit and being absolutely floored when I heard you were procrastinating and finishing your senior projects. And Rebecca, having you in all but one of my classes I taught this year, so I saw you all day long. And Timothy, hearing from your teachers how awesome you are and sad I never had you in class. Teddy, hearing daily that I was killing you with your independent study in personal finance. And Megan, your smirk when you told me, oh, I have this done already. I'm just helping Greg. And Thomas Cooper, hitting you with my duck. It's an inside joke. I have a duck I keep on my desk when students aren't paying attention. It just happens to fly through the air. Tanner, I'm gonna miss having Josiah and I calling you all the time to remind you to come in and get your work done. Thomas Crutchfield, keeping it real for me and keeping me dancing during the assemblies. Marissa, your compassionate heart and concern for your friends. So obvious, it's so awesome. And Shayla, being able to survive being married to Thomas Crutchfield during the personal finance class. Poor girl. And Alicia, having you in class. Oh wait, were you in my classes? And Brooke, helping all the students in my personal finance class because you rock at personal finance. And Hope, what else is there to say but go Ducks? Josiah, who am I gonna feed? Hold on to their presentation clothes and hear, hey Mom, every morning. And Melissa, I'm gonna miss your awesome style in the halls. You just have such style, it's amazing. And Kyle, I always remember practicing Spanish in my classroom as we're bouncing on the bouncy balls, speaking Spanish. It was pretty intense. And John Lehman, your bright, smiley face in the morning when you had to come in my class and do your math. You were just so jovial. It's overwhelming. And Joe Lehman, having Mr. Emmons always find you in my class when you were supposed to be in his. And Joe Meyer, I'll never forget your meltdown in your freshman year when I took your game cards away until you finished your assignment. And you told me that I was not being fair. Life is not always about math. And Eric Biltmore bringing autumn lunch every day in personal finance and not bringing me anything. And Bo, what can I say about you? I miss your hugs, I miss your love, and I will miss your passion you have for EHS. And John Raffaelli, your collared shirts, and encouraging everybody, why should you wear anything but collared shirts? And Olivia, giving me hugs just because, every day. And Shannon, watching you smile at me in personal finance class when you know who kept on talking during the class. No names, we won't mention any names, Keanu. And Earl, having to check your grade right now, not in 5 seconds, but right now, because you want to know to make sure you have a 4.0, right now, no matter what you're doing. And Greg Benriker telling me that even though I wasn't here when you passed your oaks, that you had passed your oaks for me. Thanks, Greg. Made me feel good. And Barbara, your hat and your smile every time in the morning when I hear you say, "Hi, Mrs. Capel." And Casey, your sassy, strong-willed attitude. I love it. Love it. Keep it real. And Zach. I know, even I'm speechless. That's shocking, I know. But Zach, watching you grow from the person that said I can't to the person that said I can. And Holly, your willingness to get things done and not wanting anyone to know about it. I think I got everybody. But so we will all miss all that you've contributed to our amazing school. And I leave you, and I know this probably isn't politically correct, but when have I ever been politically correct? I leave you with one of my favorite Bible verses that I hope will guide you to stay true and strong. It's from the book of Joshua, and it's Joshua 1, verses 7 through 9. Have I not commanded you to be strong and courageous? Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you may go. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2015 Eagle Ridge High School graduating class.
Efficiency-based grading. Most of us don't even know what that is, have no clue. Each standard had to be mastered or they did not pass the class. Think about that a minute. They had multiple chances to pass the standards by the end of the semester, but the standard had to be completed. In other words, if they didn't learn by doing it right the first time, they did it over again until they mastered it. Their state testing requirements also had to be completed, and the standards passed. To be seated on the stage today means that social promotion was not an option. They chose a path to reach a destination they worked hard to achieve. There are no D or F students seated on the stand today. Think about that. There are no D or F students. They are all C or above. If you ask them, they will tell you that they chose a school where the number one reason they were successful, and you've heard it several times tonight, their teachers who cared and went the extra mile helping them master those standards. A place where the teachers were available before and after school to help them, and a place where they sometimes had a place to cry and a place to laugh with someone else besides parents and guardians who cared. They chose a school where the board of directors have invested their vision, their money, and love of education and provided the have chosen to attend Klamath Community College, where I receive reports that Eagle Ridge students are successful and prepared.